Hey guys, welcome back to ImWateringPSUs. Today I'm gonna show you how to undervolt your RTX 4090 for decreased temperature, decreased noise and decreased power, and even to fix your coil one the right way. And I say the right way, you've seen it in the title, because online it's full of misinformation. Now, first of all, since I do not like to waste your time, I will show you how to do it. Then if you wanna stay, I will explain you why this method is the proper method and a couple extra tips to improve, and in case you want to tune it for yourself, okay? So, spec list. This is the PC we're doing it on. It's got an i9 3900K, overclocked to 6 GHz. It's got a 1000 watt Corsair 80 Plus Platinum power supply, and it's got this RTX 4090 Palit Gamerock. This tutorial will work for every RTX 4090 in the market, even the overclocked models. Let's get straight into it. Okay, here we are. Now for this tutorial you will need MSI Afterburner and Heaven Benchmark. You will find them both in the video description. Launch Heaven Benchmark with everything to the max and without the full screen enabled. Launch it. Then you want to open MSI Afterburner right there, and now you want to get to work. Now with Heaven Benchmark running, what you want to do is hit Ctrl F to open the curve editor, or you can also click here, okay? Right there. Now, something you want to make sure of before we start is you go into settings and you want to have your voltage control and voltage monitoring unlocked. So check those two boxes, hit apply, and we're good. We will have two presets in this video. The first preset is the one I do recommend for most of you guys, and I actually will do this one first. And then we also have a maximum performance one, which will be the second one. The first one is going to be the one with the most power consumption drop. In my testing, around 200 watts, close to. So a huge drop, and also way better thermals, etc. But the second one will actually give you slightly better performance than stock. So it will actually increase your FPS a bit, the 1% lows. Anyways, let's get started. Now, what you want to do, again, it's going to be a little tricky, but follow me, okay? Is you see here, this one is your voltage axis, this one is your clock axis. You want to go in there, find a 900 millivolt voltage point. Now, you want to go all the way up until you find the voltage point on the graph that corresponds to it, okay? And now, you go there and you want to hold shift on your keyboard, okay? Hold shift. And as you can see, we can now move all the curve up and down. And you want to move it up until on the left, on the y-axis, you find 2600 exactly, okay? Again, even if it is 2603, it's fine, but all the way up, okay? As we've just done. Now you can release shift. Now we'll do something a bit trickier. Now, you see all those points on the graph? There is a little empty space between this point and this point, okay? Little empty space right there. Now you want to hold shift, click in the empty space, and then drag to the right, and you will select all the curve to the right, okay? This point, you release shift, okay, release shift, and hold the left click on the right uppermost voltage point after the 900 millivolt voltage point, and bring all the half curve down. This will flatten the curve, okay? Now hit apply. Okay, the undervolting is basically done. We just have to tweak a couple of settings. Now you want to go in there, unlock your power limit all the way. You might be wondering why. I will explain it to you later. For now, just copy it. And then on memory clock, you want to go in there and hit 1000 and give it plus 1000 megahertz on the memory and hit apply. And your undervolting is done. At this point, you want to save your profile. There, enable it. Enable it to start with Windows. Go into settings. Enable it to start with Windows and start minimized. Hit apply. Hit OK. You're done. Every time you start your PC, your card will be undervolted, you can forget about this thing, and that's it. But, in case you want to stay here, a couple extra tips. On the memory, I have been very conservative because I want your profile to work, but 99% of cards, at least with my sample size, will go to 1300. So, if you want to push it a bit more, you can do 1300. Okay, now guys, I will show you how to do the performance profile, okay? Now, the way you do it is the same. So you drag the curve down, you again select a part, drag it down, but it's gonna be obviously with different voltage points. Now, in here, you can see what frequency your card ran at stock. In my case, is 2820, okay? Yours might be a little bit lower. So what you wanna do is basically, you wanna aim for this frequency. So, in my case, I'm gonna aim for 2800, but what I do recommend to most of you guys is to aim for 2750. So how do we do it? Well, pretty simple. We hold shift and we drag the curve up until the 975 voltage point this time. Again, don't get it wrong, 975 voltage point will reach your desired frequency. So in my case, again, I will do it with 2802. As you can see, it doesn't matter if it is, again, 1 or 2 points up or down. At this point, I will go in the void between the 2 points, hold shift, drag it to the right there, release shift, pull the whole curve down, hit apply. Now, as you can see, my card has just lost 30 megahertz, but it did not actually lose it. I will talk about it later. And it's flattened. Now we go in the memory clock, we give it 1000, hit apply, we unlock our power limit, hit apply. And now this time, your memory clock probably won't be able to go as high as 1300 because we removed some headroom. So in my testing, most cards will be able to take 1200. So this is what I recommend if you want to test it out a bit. If you want to be safe, just put 1000, okay? And this is the performance profile, and we're done. The tutorial is over. You can go if you want to, but if you want to stay, I think it's worth it on a $1,500 card, okay? So, basically, you can go as high as you want. You can also change voltage points, but you can't keep going up with the voltage because you will hit the power limit. So 975 is the maximum I do recommend to perform this Undervolt. You can also go to 950 if you want to stress test it a bit. But really, I recommend 900 for efficiency, 975 for performance. Now, we will get in front of the camera and talk a little bit about why we've done it this way, what you could do, and the benefits. So let's go talk about it. Okay, so with the undervolting testing out in the background, we can talk a little bit about what we've done and why it's the proper method to do this. I'm sure you guys have watched a couple other videos, probably Optimum Tech's video called Do Not Undervolt. A lot of people watch that. And now, I'm a very big fan of it, but in this case he was slightly wrong. So what happened is on the 4000 series card there is a thing called effective clock. So the clock we set and the clock the card runs at is not the actual clock. Now, without going into too much detail, what happens is if you do the undervolting with the previous method, which I used in my previous tutorials, which works perfectly fine for the 1000, 2000 and 3000 series card, but you do it on the 4090, you will have a larger gap between the actual clock and the effective clock. So between the clock that you set and the effective clock. So for example, if you set 2600, it will actually run at just 2550. And so you will see a slight reduction of performance and the numbers will not check out. But by doing this method with the flattening of the curve to the right, you don't lose any performance. Well, actually, there is around 10 megahertz of difference with the effective clock, but again, negligible. So this is the way to do it. Now, you've probably also seen the Bauer's video in which he does power target undervolting. That is very simple. You just go there, set the power limit to 80%, and you call it a day. Now, that works. However, if your card is power limited, it can stutter. So I don't like it, honestly. It's just like at stock. In my opinion, if you've seen the other videos on the page, the purpose of undervolting is to remove the card from hitting limits. So we want the card to just run flat. We don't want it going up and down, because if it goes up and down, you get a less stable gaming experience. You get frame time issues. You get a bit of stutter. So there's absolutely no point, in my opinion, in doing power target undervolting unless you're really thermally constrained or power constrained. Also, if you want to go see the proper difference between the power target and the undervolting, go see Brian from Techie City video. He did a very good analysis on this. If you want to look at it more, he has graphs and explains it properly. But again, this method is the one and only way to undervolt these cards, and it's gonna work perfectly fine. Nobody else that talks about undervolting use this, which is why they are complaining. Now, little thing, then I will let you guys go. Why are we unlocking the power limit if we are undervolting? Well, it's because, again, we don't want our card to hit limits. Now, power is the product of voltage times current. Now, the current is constant depending on the load. So we are reducing voltage. We are not hitting our power limit either way. So by unlocking the power limit, if the card has to do a spike, it will do the spike and your games will not stutter. So it's crucial to unlock the power limit. But it will not use the power. It will just be there, but it will not use it. So this is it, guys. If you've liked this video, I have many more undervolting and overclocking tutorials on the page, and I also do builds like this one behind me, pretty high-end one. If it was helpful, please drop a like and a sub, and tell me it was helpful in the comments. If you have any problem, tell me so. And thank you guys for watching, really, if you watched this far. See you in the next one, guys. Bye.